Hi, my name is Rick Helfrich. I recently took up mountain biking at the young age of 43 years old. It all started with a Facebook conversation with a friend of mine who suggested that I do a race in Traverse City, Michigan in November, which is in northern Michigan. It's called the Iceman Cometh Challenge. It's 29 miles from Kalkaska, Michigan to Traverse City. I've been training since last December for that race, and I most recently started racing in other shorter races in order to get ready for it. I've been riding bikes of some kind for most of my life, and always dreamed of riding in the Olympics and the velodromes and the long distance races, and it just never came to be. High school girlfriends, football kind of got in the way, and it just kind of got forgotten. So I bought a mountain bike about 2 years ago, started riding off and on, just enough to say I was active, and just decided all of a sudden one day that I was really passionate about it. I actually made a trip to a park near our home called Sawiki Park. It's actually single track trails that used to be horse trails, and they're very conducive to some pretty hellacious mountain bike riding. And I got home that afternoon, and something about it was, my wife could tell something had changed in me, and I'd found an old love, and now I'm really excited about getting back into it at my young age. So one of the highlights of my recent mountain bike racing, my fledgling career, is I did participate in my first race in May. It's called the Sylvan Island Stampede, and it takes place on an island that's actually in the Mississippi, near Moline, Illinois. And I finished in 57th place, but it was my first race. I finished it in one piece, both me and the bike, and I was pretty excited about that. A couple of things that have really kept me going, first and foremost, are the encouragement that I get from my wife and my kids. My kids will even ask me at the end of a work day, "Dad, are you going to get on the bike?" And of course I am. Yeah, absolutely. And the second thing is just the progress I've made from, I remember my first, what I consider my first long distance ride, which was 5 miles, and I couldn't maintain a pace of more than 12 miles an hour. To last night, I actually rode 15 miles, and I had a pace of almost 18 miles an hour. So while that's not pro caliber, it's pretty good for me. Currently, I am training for 2 races. The first one is in about 3 weeks. It's a 100-mile race on country roads, not too far from here. It's going to be my first, what they call a century. It's a 100-mile ride, and I'm basically doing it just to say that I can do it. So I've been training, riding 30, 40 miles a day, every other day, and then I'll take a longer ride on Saturdays or Sundays to get ready for it, just to get time on the seat and get my legs and my lungs accustomed to it. And then the second, my ultimate goal was to ride in the Iceman Cometh Challenge, which was the first thing I even thought of after my Facebook conversation with a friend. And I figure if I can ride 100 miles in the heat in August, I can ride 20 miles in November in Kalkaska, no problem. I've seen, and my friends and the church community have seen a lot of changes in me, all for the positive. It's opened up new doors for me, doors that I never really realized would be opened. I just figured I'm getting on a bike at a fairly, I'm middle-aged. I'm getting on a bike and I'm racing. What impact could this possibly have on anybody else? But I've had an opportunity to volunteer with an organization, and somebody in their infinite wisdom thought I'd be good for that, and it turns out I love it. It's called Triple Threat Mentoring, and they have programs for underprivileged, under-resourced kids. It's in the Aurora area, and they provide different programs for arts, athletics, and academics. And the program I'm helping out with, or volunteering with, is called SOOPAH, S-O-O-P-A-H. It's their BMX team, and once the kids graduate from what they call BURP program, it's build-in repair program. They actually have to learn how to repair their own bike. So once they graduate from that, they're able to join the team and race at a BMX track in the area. I love seeing these kids pursue their dreams at their age like I'm pursuing mine. The most rewarding parts of this journey, I'd say, probably are, number one, finishing my first race in one piece, and just being able to continue to train at the level I've been training, and the opportunities that have really popped up from doing this, my volunteer opportunity. And I've actually started a blog, my own blog, as a result of being interviewed during one of our church services. One of the comments that came up during my portion of the interview was, you gain speed and stability kind of go hand in hand, and once you slow down, you lose that stability, especially on a very fast single track race. So to me, letting go of the brakes has been a big deal, and that's actually the title of my blog, Let Go of the Brakes. This is my adventure. Go paint your adventure.